Hey guys, Libby here, and this is how to virtually draw an anime girl. So even though it's anime, you still want to get a reference. I got mine from quickposes.com, and you see I got this cute girl right here, right? So on Fire Alpaca, which is free, you can create a layer with that, right? And then you'll want to pick out a different color than black to start with. So, this is usually where the eyes are going to be. And since her face is pointing down, I'm going to draw a line curving upward. Also, Control plus Z, or Z, however you say it. That's how you do the shortcut for this, which is to erase what you just did, which is very useful in digital art because without it, you're basically gonna make your art take like 10 hours to make. So her face shape is kind of difficult. So it's going to go like that, right? Kind of masculine, actually. But I think she's pretty. So you're gonna have to try quite a bit. Just have to play with how you draw. And since this is where her eyes are, her cheekbones are going to be there. So that'll make that slightly easier if you keep thinking about what you're doing, which I tend to forget to do. I don't have that many, and my hands aren't steady, okay? Right, so when you do that, you're gonna then know that the neck's gonna start right here, right? So you just go down. If you put a dot there, hit shift and then click right around, like right down, it's gonna make a straight line. And then something that I do is I use my finger to see how her shoulders go. Like I line it up and then I put it up here. Like my finger is close to the screen. There. And then her shoulders should be 2 heads apart. So I'm gonna hit L, do that. Control copy, control paste. And then when you do that, you can hit paste again. And then control T again. See? You can see how that is 2 heads apart. Right? Alright, so then you're gonna just look at how her body is. You can tell that it goes down and then back up. So you can just kind of do that for right now. Right? And then you are going to do a rectangular shape. It doesn't have to be that perfect at all. So then you'll make a triangle shape from both ends that goes down to the middle. There, that looks quite a bit better. And then you see this area? Yeah, you'll need that later. So you hit Control T and you can edit how that is. so that it's easier to use, and then zoom out of the reference a tiny bit. Alright, so what I do from here is usually just skip a certain part, so add another layer, hit green, and so you see that, boom, that green's too close to the blue. I'll use pink. So you go from around here to, and then there you'll probably just look at her, right? And then that goes down to about there, and then her waist and hips or whatever will go out, right? So you see how that's there? You don't actually have to even do all this or whatever. But if you want to, you can just make a heart shape, because heart shapes are fun, right? And then ball sack, boop, boop. But you'll kind of have this as a separate area, so yeah. So then you'll want to sorry. So then you'll want to separate these areas by erasing, and then figuring out, oh hey, this goes right there, kind of more curved than I thought. Right? Alright. So after that, you can add another layer. Yes, you need more layers. I'll add another layer that's like orange. Alright. So you can start adding more details on this one. Like if you look, you'll see that her hair is kind of covering up most of her face. You can add that. Her hair goes down to her where her tits would be. Right? So she kind of looks like Scarlet Urza from Fairy Tail. And then you gotta add curves of her hair because it's wavy. Alright, now there's the basic hair. As you can tell, it's not completely accurate of the proportions, right? But that doesn't matter because it's just a sketch. So then, from there, you can just, actually, you know what, we can go back with this color once again and add another layer, and then we can do the skirt. Not all anime girls wear skirts, obviously, but so she goes kind of really close to her chest area. So we can basically just have this as the base shape. Right, so we can get this color that's pink again with the eyedropper tool, add another layer. So you see this is where her knees would be. And then since she actually has a thigh gap, she's gonna kind of only slightly not have those touching. And then this is not the best image to use because you can't see the rest of her legs, but you just kind of copy that part. See, that almost looks really cool already. And then you can finally go with black. You can go over this if you'd like. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Navigator. I always like to have an even number, so it takes me like forever to get one while tapping randomly there. And then you can add more detail when it's a tinier number. Alright. There, that's kind of how her face is. You can not really see her neck, I don't believe. Yeah, you can't really see her neck. You just know it's there because you're human. And you see humans all the time. Or at least have at one point, most likely. So then you kind of copy, basically. And no, this is not cheating. This is how artists are supposed to do this, really. Otherwise, it won't really turn out very accurate. You kind of just gotta look at what's going on. You can kind of tell that her boob goes out, but only slightly, like that. So then, for the skirt, you'll want to just copy. Even if it turns out bad, you're still learning. You just kind of go like stairs a little bit. And sometimes those stairs collide. Sometimes they curve up a little bit. Yes, I know this is very tedious, but you gotta do it if you're using a reference image to the fullest. Well, you don't have to, but I recommend it for practice. There. And then since her dress kind of curves, you gotta have a slight curve right around there. So then you can click all of these to see how you're doing. I think that looks fairly well. It's not the best I've done, but... And then you look at her arms, because there's not really any tricks for arms, you kind of just gotta practice. But also, if she's not just skin and bones, they'll kind of go out like that. But not that much, so... you're kind of left on your own. You look at where her arm is in relationship to the skirt. You forget that it doesn't matter that much. That's her index finger, right? You don't really need any more fingers than that, except for the thumb. See how it curves? Good. And then her other hand and arm, you kind of do the same thing, except with this one you don't actually have to draw her hand, which makes this arm easier, but also harder. Now, since I don't like how these shoulders are, I'm gonna change them. See? It looks quite a bit better. Now for the skin on her legs and whatever. I find the legs difficult, but you just gotta keep practicing, I guess. Like doop, doop, navigator. See, it doesn't look that bad, right? So you go to reference, you find how to do the details on the clothes. I'm not gonna actually draw all of those, I don't think. But you find where in relationship to everything else that this part of the shirt is. I see that's right there, kind of. And then, since I'm adding my own style, I can kind of just make her go ooh-ooh. She looks slightly happy, but kind of tired, I think, in the reference. And we could probably make the brush thinner and zoom in more. And since she's smirking a bit, I think you can just add the smirk. She looks kind of cocky, so her eyebrows are going to be like that. And that's how you basically do that.